Hey guys, this is Anthony with Training with AJ, and today I'm going to show you actually two different things. One is my new Kershaw Brawler everyday carry knife, and this knife retails in at $25.99. Picked this one up at Menards, at my local Menards, and it's a great knife. So I'm going to prepare dinner with my knife, cutting all my vegetables and everything that I'm going to need to prepare dinner. And today with me is my daughter behind the camera, Kobe, so she'll be assisting me in making this video. So hopefully, one, you'll be able to see how great this knife works, and two, learn how to make a new dish for yourself or your family. So follow along. Alright, so for dinner tonight, I'm going to prepare a dish called Shabu Shabu, which is Japanese style hot pot. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to prepare the meat. And what I have right here is thinly sliced ribeye steak, and you can see it's really thin, so that way it cooks fast in the pot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some green onions, and then I'm going to add some sauce. So let's cut up the green onions first. Now again, I'm going to be using my Kershaw Brawler knife, and we're going to cut off these the heads off the green onions. Okay, we'll put these off to the side, and then I'm going to cut these roughly about 1/4 inch or so. I'm just going to slice that straight across. Man, this knife cuts really, really good. Alright, so that's enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the green onions to my meat. And it's probably a little bit more than I really need, but I really like green onions. Alright, and then what I'm going to do next is, you can make your own bulgogi sauce, but I just bought some store-made stuff. Hopefully this stuff works pretty good. So now you don't want to put the entire jar in there, you just want to put a little bit, just enough to kind of marinate the meat. So this isn't really, obviously, bulgogi is really not Japanese, it's Korean, but my family and I enjoy the taste of the sweetness of the bulgogi sauce. So what we're going to do is just going to pour some on there, dribble it on there a little bit, and then we'll cover it and put it in the refrigerator for about an hour or so, just to let it marinate and soak it into the meat. So you don't need a lot. So let's move on to the next step. I'm gonna off camera, I'm going to cover the meat and put it in the fridge. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna prepare the vegetables, and I'm gonna get them ready to add them to the to the soup later on. So first one thing I'm gonna do is, this is my batch of spinach, and I'm just gonna cut the stems off because we're just gonna use the leaves part. So I'm just gonna cut through this whole thing with my Kershaw Brawler and see how well that goes. Man, like butter. We'll put the heads into my little basket here. Alright, we'll put these off to the side, throw that in the trash later. Get the next stack here and do the same thing. Nice and easy. Bam, done. So 2 slices, and went through a complete bunch of spinach. So I'm going to throw these away. Alright, so now the next vegetable that we're going to prepare is the baby bok choy. And this is fairly, the stems are a little bit harder. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut the head right here, straight across. And then I'm going to do it again down toward the stem, just like so. And I'm going to add that to my bowl here. Get the next one, do the same thing. Okay, we'll add that, and then one last one, straight across, and we'll add that in there. Alright, so the next item that we're going to add to our dish is going to be some leeks, which is, I don't know what the heck they are. I think it's like an onion. So I'm gonna go grab those, and we'll add that to the next item to cut. Alright guys, so what you're looking at are the leeks. So I'm going to cut the heads off just like the green onions. It's like an oversized green onion. That's what it looks like to me. But I'm going to cut this part off, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in about 1/4 inch slices. Man, this knife is really nice. I can just press down and just slice it. Instead of having to start from here all the way across, I can just literally push down from here, push down, and slice it. You can see it's kind of the Tanto drop point blade on there. So it's real handy, and it's, you know, I can't believe how sharp it is straight out of the box. Alright, we'll add this to our bowl here. Then we'll get the next one. Alright, so the last item that we're going to add is I'm going to get some bean sprouts and add it to the bowl. And then I got some tofu left that I got to cut, and some shiitake mushrooms. So keep following us, keep watching, and hopefully this dish comes out good. Alright, so now we're going to add the bean sprouts, and there's really nothing you got to cut with the bean sprouts. You know, I just grabbed some handfuls and I added to what I'm going to add to my soup this evening. So take 2 big handfuls and we'll add that, and then we'll put the rest for ramen for a later date. Alright, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the shiitake mushrooms, get those ready. And so I got a package of mushrooms here. You know, slice that open. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to quarter these. Okay. Now I like, you know, I don't like to eat the stems, so I like to cut the stems off on mine. Okay, it's all personal preference. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to quarter these, you know, straight across, and then straight across, just like so. So I'm going to do that to all the mushrooms, and so you'll see that. And I'll do this off camera, so you don't have to watch me cut through all these mushrooms. Alright, so as you can see, you got really nice color of different vegetables in here. We have the spinach, we have the leeks, we have the shiitake mushrooms, we have the baby bok choy in there, as well as the bean sprouts. Now the last thing that I'm going to add is my tofu, and you can, you know, it actually, they call for extra firm tofu, but I kind of like the fried tofu. And I couldn't find any extra firm, so it's going to have to do for this evening. So here's my fried tofu, and I'm going to open up the package. And I'm going to cut it into roughly 1-inch squares. Alright, and put that off to the side. So I'm going to just split this down the center. And tofu is really easy to cut, so it's not going to be a huge deal with my knife here. But I'm going to cut into about 1-inch cubes. Almost perfect. Alright, and I'm going to add that to my bowl. And I'll set that off right over here. Now, I'm going to do the last one. And again, guys, I apologize. I'm not a chef, so if I'm not doing the cutting techniques properly, you know, give me some advice here. So this is what I called field expedient use of a knife for cooking dinner. So there we go. So we have our bowl of vegetables ready to be added to our soup later this evening. So stay tuned, and you know, once we're gonna put, you know, we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna put this in the refrigerator to keep. And then once my wife gets home from work, we'll prepare and you can see the rest of how it's prepared. Alright guys, so I just wanted to show you real quick how sharp this knife is. After cutting the vegetables and stuff like that, I just got a piece of paper here. It's looks like a recipe that I printed out, but look at that. Whoops. Yep. This paper's not very good. Let me try to cut this one here. But right there, you can see how sharp that knife is still. So it's a good demonstration. I just wanted to show you, this is a great knife for 25 bucks. It's Chinese steel, but you know what? It's pretty good darn Chinese steel. So I think it's a great value and a quality product. So check it out. And like I said, I got this Kershaw Brawler knife from Menards, and it's the cheapest I could find. You may be able to find it $1 or $2 cheaper online, but I would say after shipping and handling and everything, you'll probably end up paying more. So check out your local Menards. It works good. Still works good, so check it out, and again, we'll continue with this video when we get ready to prepare our dinner. Alright guys, so you can see that we got the vegetables and the meat in the pot. What you want to do is you want to kind of arrange it. Put each vegetable in its own little section. Put the meat, what I typically do is put the meat directly in the middle. And then what I'm going to do next, off camera, is I'm going to add 6 cups of water to the pot here, and then I'm going to put it on the stove. And then while it's getting heated up, I'm going to start making the broth with 2 cups and some other stuff that I'll show you. Okay. All right, guys. So now I'm going to show you how to make the broth, or at least how I make the broth. I'm sure there's probably a gazillion million ways to do it. So a couple things you're going to need. You're going to need a measuring cup. And you're going to need about 1.5 cups of water, okay? And then rice cooking wine, and we're going to put 1/4 cup in here. All right, and then we're going to add 1/4 cup of soy sauce. Now, as people eat this dish, they can add soy sauce or other sauces to their own taste, to their liking. So I'm going to heat this up, and then we will add this to the soup pot. So I got everything in the pot, and I'm going to let it boil over the stove, okay? And then once it starts boiling, then I'm going to transfer it over to a tabletop stove, which I'll show you when I get ready to move it over on there. Okay. Alright guys, so the hot pot's been cooking on the stove for about 10-15 minutes. Now I'm going to put this on the tabletop stove, so just got to be really careful. First, let's turn the stove off. And then what we want to do is just turn it on to a kind of a simmering heat. That way it constantly keeps the soup hot. And then we'll let this get going for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll sit around the table and eat. So there you go. So you got to see the Kershaw Brawler knife cutting up all the vegetables, and it still, again, holds its edge. Sorry about that. And it sliced through everything nice and cleanly. So again, a great field expedient knife, so to speak, for the kitchen. And also, you have an opportunity to learn how to make a different dish that maybe you might not have tried before. So this is kind of a community type soup, as you can see, and gosh, I wish you could smell this. It's just absolutely amazing. So a lot of vegetables in here, and for the protein, we added ribeye steak, thinly cut, so it can cook thoroughly in the soup. So until next time, thank you for joining me. Again, this is Anthony with Training with AJ. Please like, if you like this video, and if you want some more future videos with knife reviews, along with learning to make something different, maybe. What else? Please subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my daughter's channel as well. I'll put a link down below. And stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.